Hey guys, it's your girl Jaylah, and we are here officially Miami Hack Week 2024. And now I get to mess with somebody that I personally know real well, but doesn't like to be bullied. So I'm gonna bully him right now, 100%. The other half of Cafe Cultura. Zachary Johnson.
Thank you.
Stanford alumni, founder, somebody who has a lot of credibility. Way more than me. I'm just
false. Happy to be here. I'm Zach. This has been a great Miami Hack Week. As Cafe Cultura, we really want to support Black and Brown entrepreneurs, underrepresented founders. It's been great to see the incredible diversity of the developers, the hackers, downstairs and around all weekend. So we're excited to see the projects and see how we as an organization can actually support more underrepresented founders to get funding, get early access to their early team members, and whatever else we can do as an organization.
And that's one of the things that I think me and you have found a way to work together has been through fundamentally having education first, right?
Yeah.
Because we're thinking about the future of what tech is. We're thinking about our babies. Like, I have an 8-year-old daughter who's like on a different path now because of our conversations, our lineage, like everything that we've been trying to work for. And for me, as a first generational Latina, half the time we haven't even had these options.
Yeah, I think on options, I'm a South Florida son. I went to high school down in Boca and then in Plantation. It's been a love-hate relationship. I love the culture, I love the people, but the issue has oftentimes been what the options are. What you actually have access to, what are the clear pathways? And for me, when we don't have a seat at the table, what I like to do is actually just build the table myself. So in my entire career, what I've oftentimes done is I'll create my own company, I'll hire people that I believe in, and we'll actually go and execute, because now it's all up to us to actually prove and bet on ourselves. So as Cafe Cultura, and really just as like people of color, I think a lot of times we have to bet on ourselves, and tech is one of the best pathways to actually do that, because your creativity comes through, your resourcefulness comes through, and that's a lot of times our superpowers as people. So that's what I did as a founder, and I want to bring back that same energy to South Florida and beyond. I'm looking forward.
And I think that, like, for me, that was such a huge pivot, especially post-COVID, where there was such a huge life change for a lot of people, where it's like, where can we go? Where can we manage? How can we actually build and cultivate something that's going to break these barriers? Right? To take us to that next level, because we don't want to get stuck.
Yeah, I think even in COVID, that was really an opportunity to disrupt. It's like your comfort zone is really tested, obviously. A lot of our people, there was this big thing, I'm at home and I'm just making bread and like going to happy hours. A lot of our friends were actually struggling to survive, struggling to figure out how they're going to pay their rent, struggling how to figure out how they're going to track for the next couple of years. So a lot of my friends created companies during COVID, and they became, 7-figure, 8-figure companies. So the changes to comfort zones and these things that are perceived to be big problems are oftentimes our opportunities to step up. And I think that what we've tried to do as an organization is actually identify those opportunities to step up and actually create the infrastructure to actually go and execute and make those things happen.
And I know with you saying this, something that we've talked about internally with our company has been the huge mega change that COVID and everything has brought to the South Florida region, right? So we're talking about, like, we've moved so many companies in a long range, right? Like, we're talking about evolution of companies, and now they've run on like COVID expenses, I think.
Okay. Yep.
Rather than like where the revolving world is now.
Yep.
Right? So we're talking about things like I'm in entertainment. So I see like Live Nation, I see radio stations, I see different pivots where they've tried to like, hey, I'm gonna come back, but I don't really know where our space lies now.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah, I think, things have changed quite a bit. The pandemic was a transformational event, I think, for all of society. But I think now there are a lot of new technologies that came as a result of the pandemic, because people were able to go and actually create things like this new wave of AI, this new wave of, data science, this new wave of actual, things like Microsoft Azure, or even like autonomous cars. A lot of times those projects were really focused on and honed in during the pandemic because they actually had the time to focus. So we're in a brand new world. The future is here now, and I think that their opportunities are massive when it comes to going and working for companies, creating companies. So definitely jump on those opportunities as an organization. That's what we try to support. So for sure. Every time there's a big shift in society, that's an opportunity to disrupt, and that's what we try to focus on.
All right, so how can they get in contact with you or us in Cafe Cultura? Obviously, we have different perspectives on things, which is what I love about our company. Is that we have the logical tech side, but we also have the very creative side. That's like, where do we take you to the next level? So give them all that information.
As an organization, we do two things. We support underrepresented founders through access to capital, networking events, access to early employees, just essentially going through and figuring out the do's and don'ts of being a startup. That's the first thing that we do. We support that, and we also support people through upskilling efforts. So if you want to be a software engineer, data scientist, salesperson, whatever it may be, we have access and company partners to actually help you with those processes. As an organization, you can find us at www.cafecultura.com. We're also on Instagram and on LinkedIn. So you can find us there. I think we want to do one more Q&A, right? Are we doing a Q&A?
We're going to do a Q&A in a little bit, but we're going to cut this off right now because you guys have to get all this information and know where you can contact us. So everything is there. Thank you for joining us. This is Miami Hack Week 2024, Cafe Cultura. You're out.